What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Investing Pros live show. It is Tuesday, November 12th, 3 p.m., and we have got a great one lined up for you guys today. Bitcoin, as we are talking right now, is working back up. After taking a little bit of a dip this morning, we were flirting once again with the thought of getting above $90,000 for the first time ever. We're going to talk about that. Also, today we're going to be giving you our top 5 coins that we're looking at right now. Doesn't mean that no other coins are going to go up, but 5 coins that I'm super excited about. There's a lot of data and things on the chart saying that these coins could be about to rip even more to the upside. You do not want to miss a single second of the show because at the end, we've been flirting it now all week. We've got a big announcement, especially for the OGs out there that you're going to want to be here for, but you got to wait till then. Smash the like button, hit subscribe, but first, we got to roll the intro. Here we go,
hey.
Mr. T. Shroom. How are you doing today?
Oh, Tim, I am doing much better than I deserve. We've got a fun, exciting surprise at the end of the show. I cannot wait to see the reaction from the bros. But Tim, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very good. Again,
Good.
I'm very excited about this show. Very excited about what we're going to do. Full transparency, there are some people in the VIP trading group that know exactly what's happening. Now, the majority of them have no idea the significance. A couple of them do, but some of them don't. If you were in the VIP trading group earlier today, do not say anything. You know the secret. Turns out, I told them I didn't think we were going to reveal it till tomorrow, but things happen and we're going to be able to reveal it today. You do not want to miss it. Wait till the end. Really quickly, though, want to give a special shout out to the sponsor of today's episode, Decrypted.tax. It is the #1 trusted tax firm out there. They're the ones that we use. T-Shum and I use them for our company. We use them personally. And you might be saying, Tim, it's November. Why are we talking about taxes? Hey, guess what? If you wait until April to think about taxes, you're making a mistake. You want to have somebody who knows exactly what they're doing, who's going to set you up before the end of the year with the right strategy so that you pay Uncle Sam as little money as possible, but stay legal. We don't advise breaking laws, especially when it comes to taxes. But I do advise trying to keep that number as low as possible. No one is better at helping you with that than Ernest from Decrypted.tax. Check him out today. When you use our link, you get 25% off. But before any of that happens, before you spend a single dime, call him for a free 60-minute consultation with that link down below. Shout out to Ernest and Decrypted.tax. T-Shroom, are you ready to get in and take a look at some bubbles and take a look at what's happening in the news here today?
Tim, I am ready. Let's go ahead and dive on.
Listen, I'm just letting you know, T-Shroom, this is gonna be a crazy show because I kind of just want to get to the end of the show, right? The chart's gonna be good, the news is gonna be good. I can't wait for the end of the show. If I'm smiling uncontrollably, that's what it is. All right, let's take a look at what's happening here on the daily chart. Mixture of the bubbles. If you guys watched our morning show, there's not necessarily a whole heck of a lot of differences. Doge is still one of the bigger green ones. AIOZ, though, popping up here. Looks like the top mover of the top 100, up 32.5%. We got some other memes making some moves, like GOAT up 18, Bonks up 25. I don't mean to say memes and then say XRP. XRP is not a meme, but it is up pretty big here, 17.7%. HBAR. I had someone reach out to me actually today asking my thoughts on HBAR. I don't personally hold it, but to the guy that asked me, you look like you're doing good today. Up 21% there. There is still a speckle of red here on the charts, but what we're watching right now, after a dip this morning, it looks like things are kind of regrouping. I told you guys yesterday, when you short, be careful. We entered one short today in our VIP trading group. It looks like we're going to do pretty well, but we entered one short, and it was XRP, and it looks like we already got stopped out. But that's why you put tight stop losses on it, and that's why you don't short that much during a bull market. Let's go ahead here, T-Shroom. I'm going to check the charts really quickly to see what's happening. We're not going to go in-depth TA right here, just some flyby TA, and then we're going to get into some of the headlines, some of the news stories. Bitcoin pulled back, and I gave you guys yesterday 2 targets to keep an eye on. This morning, or yesterday I started, this morning I confirmed it. The first target was coming down here based off of a 1 hour sell signal. Also, the smart trail on that 1 hour chart looks like we bounced off of it just perfectly. The question is, are we going to pop up here and we go higher? We literally wicked right to former all-time high, right below 90,000. Are we going to beat that here live on the show, or do we have to wait till later? If it does come back down and correct, there's also interesting liquidity sitting down here towards 81,000 to about 83,000. That could also be an interesting zone of support. We're going to comment more on Bitcoin here in just a couple of minutes. Towards the end of the show, or I guess middle-ish of the show, we're going to talk about the 5 altcoins that I'm looking at buying right now. I saw one person make their guess. I want to see other people make their guess. Let's see. Who was it? I think it was Crypto. Was it Crypto Geo that gave his guess? Hold on, I got to scroll back up and find it. A lot of people commenting here, so I'm scrolling back through. Man, where is it? Oh, let's see. Texas Forever said top alt pick Sui, and of course, Sui. That's 4, though, so we need 5, Texas Forever. Where was it? They gave their prediction. No, Crypto Geo. Tim will mention Link, ADA, Ondo, Sui, and Cass. Do you think that is my top 5? Go ahead right now in the chat. Spam away. What are the top 5 coins that we will be talking about here in a little bit? There's no such thing as wrong answers, because I'm going to let you in a little secret. Unless we're talking about like Terra Luna or something, or FTX, everything looks like it's about to go up. But there's 5 that I really, really like right now I'm picking up. T-Shroom, I'm going to throw it to you, though. Let's get into some news. I know we have some headlines affecting the king of crypto. We have Bitcoin, and things are just looking more positive every single day. What do you have for us today in the way of news and fundamental updates?
Absolutely. Let's get on into it, Tim. Before I do, make sure you smash the like button. And we had a lot of fun this morning seeing where everybody was from. Let's do it again. Let's run it back. What country are you watching from? What state are you watching from? Let us know. We have a lot of fun going through that and seeing our international representation. Tim, I'm going to start with something that is just absolutely taking my breath away, and that is the daily histograms here for the ETF Inflows. Yeah. Absolutely crushing it here. We had an all-time high back here on the 11th. That was $1.38 billion worth of Bitcoin that was purchased through the ETF. I'm sorry, not the 11th, the 6th. I stand corrected there. Then it was followed by a meager just under 300 million inflows. And then on the 10th, we got another more than $1 billion day of inflows. So very, very bullish. If we look at the weekly histograms for this, obviously you can see that the buyers are now voracious and they are gobbling up Bitcoin faster than ever. But it doesn't stop there, Tim. There is more bullish news. Justin, publicly traded AI firm Genesis Group adopts Bitcoin as a primary treasury asset, plans to acquire an initial 120 million of Bitcoin. If you go look for this on the New York Stock Exchange, it has a different ticker from its ticker over in Singapore, but it is GNS. GNS could be the next MicroStrategies, Tim. As
Let's clarify 2 things for maybe any listener who you're doing something, you can't look at the screen, and you're just listening. Maybe you're like, this is like podcast style for you. Genius firm, right? Not Genesis. Genesis is a whole different thing in the world of crypto. Go back to the title there, T-Shroom. Genius brand, Group Limited. Also, just to be very clear, they're going to purchase $121 million of Bitcoin, not 120 million Bitcoin. That actually would be impossible, seeing as that at any point in time, there will only ever be 21 million.
Yes.
Just want to clarify for all of our listeners, not our viewers out there. Hopefully a majority of you are watching here on YouTube or over on X. If you're listening this, I encourage you come watch as well. But I wanted to clarify for anyone just listening here today.
I appreciate that. I'm just so excited. I'm ripping through everything here.
It's about the vibes, T-Shroom. You got me this morning. Sometimes vibes take over, and it's good vibes. This is good news. This is very bullish, and sometimes misspeaking happens, and it's right. Okay. We all do it.
So what is the Genius Group, one might ask? Genius Group is a leading AI-powered educational acceleration group. Today announced that its board has adopted a global Bitcoin-first strategy with Bitcoin to be the primary treasury reserve asset. The board's adoption of this new policy follows the recent restructuring of its board to include experts in blockchain and Web3 technologies. the boards of directors have approved the following Bitcoin First strategy. First, they're going to commit to 90% or more of our current and future reserves to be held in Bitcoin. Wow. Commence utilization of $150 million ATM to acquire an initial target of 120 million in Bitcoin to be held for the long term, and 2 other points. But Tim, the takeaway here is that MicroStrategies has been doing this for a long time. They've inspired companies like MetaPlanet in Japan and the other company Semler Scientific back in the United States to start to purchase Bitcoin. It's as simple as that, but it gets more complex when you're doing it as a corporation. The big thing here is that if this trend picks up, we may see some of the biggest corporations, some of the biggest holders of money and wealth in the world start to adopt a similar strategy. I'm thinking Microsoft, Tim. I'm thinking Tim. I'm Tim Cook over at Apple. So very, very big potential here if this trend in corporate America buying Bitcoin continues. Very, very good to see.
Last night on our spaces, Greg was in. I don't remember Greg's last name, but Greg came up and was speaking. Craig. Okay, Craig. Thank you for clarification. Now, do you remember what he said he did for a living and what his responsibility was? Because he came from a position where he would know this information. But anyone who, while you're thinking about it, T-Shroom, that I like that look. That I can tell you're thinking really hard with that facial expression. He kind of commented in. He was talking about how we've been saying this. People are not bullish enough. And people have been asking the question, when we get over 100K, what's going to keep it going, right? A lot of people invested right now are probably in the back of their mind saying, I'm going to DCA still, but once we get over 100K, you're going to start getting that feeling of, man, I don't know if I want to buy anymore. I'm not ready to sell just yet, but I don't think I want to keep buying. Well, guess what? If people aren't buying, then the price will stop going to the upside, right? To have liquidity, you got to have someone continuing to buy even at high levels. But what Craig was saying was that there are corporations and institutions that are responsible for millions of people's money. Like they're not just making it for themselves. They have to invest for other people. And because of that, they have to be very responsible and patient to make sure something's like a sure deal. And he talked about there's a lot of institutional adoption. Corporations, I'm not saying it's the Genius Group in this case, but other organizations like the Genius Group that will have billions, if not trillions of dollars waiting to deploy into Bitcoin that aren't going to deploy a single dime until we see over $100,000 to $120,000 Bitcoin, because that will show a whole lot of maturity. So when I heard that, it really sparked my ears. I think it's very important to understand it's not just the institutions that are getting in right now, right? We had some institutional adoption back in 2021, not a lot. Most of it was negative. Then we've gotten some institutional adoption here early in this bull market. It's been the main catalyst to get us so high so fast. But if you're sitting here wondering, man, is it going to dry up? And are we going to see an early top? And are we going to see that low number? People keep talking about 175,000 or 200,000 or 300,000. Is there a chance that we actually stop way lower? I just want you guys to know from a good source and from an understanding of how institutions work, there's actually going to be a lot of buying pressure that comes in as we go up higher, not just from retail investors, suckers, who have been sitting on the sideline and waiting, and then they come back in, because usually those people buy the tops. We have people with real money that know what they're doing investing and are going to protect their investments who are looking to buy in when we get above 100,000. If that's not making you bullish right now into wanting to buy more Bitcoin, there's probably nothing that will. I mean, there's nothing else that'll make you more bullish unless, I guess – no, I mean, because if the Bitcoin was at $1 million, then I wouldn't want to buy at $1 million at this moment. I'd probably want to sell that. But yeah, very good news that we're looking at these groups more and more every single day. They're still buying these high prices. What does that tell us? I mean, let me wrap this with a pretty bow. You are still early to Bitcoin. $90,000 is going to sound crazy because it's all-time high. $90,000 is still cheap Bitcoin. If you don't walk away with anything else today, that's what you need to walk away with. 90,000. It's cheap.
Yeah, I love it. Well, that's our Bitcoin news for today. Is there other headlines? There are, but part of the value we bring here at the Investing Bros is we sift through all the silliness and the frivolous headlines, and we just bring you what matters. We have a couple of altcoin headlines we'll get to in just a few minutes. But first, Tim, why don't you take us onto the charts and show us what do the charts tell us about where we may be pulling back to, or are we about to hit $90,000? Let's take a look.
Well, real quick, we did have a couple super chats in here. We're going to go to the charts in just a second. Crypto for Everybody with the super chat said, good to be in Bitcoin and crypto, my dear bros. Let's go forward. Then it was a cool sunglasses face emoji with a rocket ship. I love it. Thank you so much, Cryptos for Everybody. Another one just came in here a couple of minutes ago from Carlos C. saying, what are your thoughts about DPIN project IOTEX? Can we get some quick TA? Thanks. T-shirt, copy and paste that one. We're going to keep that one for the end of the show. Carlos, thank you. I'm going to start off by saying DPIN is a part of the crypto ecosystem I think is going to have a very good bull market. So I want to start off being a DPIN project. That's a plus for this IOTEX. I myself don't know anything about IOTEX. Your super chat is the first I'm actually ever seeing of that. I don't know if this has been around for a while. There's a chance it has been. I spent a lot more time analyzing the fundamentals and the charts on a lot of the blue chip coins, the top coins. In case you haven't been around long enough, that's what I do. I'm not. It's not that I never dabble in lower cap coins, but I'm spending a lot of time within the top 50 of crypto. And as a trader, you find a lot of success just even operating and trading within that top 50. But I'm more than happy to look into it for you. Crux is going to be a great resource over in our Discord. Even if he hasn't done it, he's a guy who, if you tell him about a coin and you give him 24 hours, he seems to understand it better than most people after 24 hours. He is our kind of fundamental and portfolio expert here with the bros. So go ask him as well over in our Discord, Carlos, and he'll be able to give you some good answers there.
For sure.
Let's go do that Bitcoin TA. We mentioned some brief stuff in the intro. We bounced off the hourly support level of our smart trail, right? We had some liquidity here as well. If you were to go to lower time frames, this is the liquidation chart that is going to come soon. People have been asking about this a lot. We used to use heavily another liquidation chart that has a different website, but now we're working on an indicator programmed right in with the Bros community Program Bros community plugged in that we're creating with Luxalgo that you guys will get access to. That'll be a cheap option if you're members to buy this indicator and then have your liquidations right on your TradingView account. We talked about the serious level of liquidations back here around 86,200. Well, sure enough, we came down, we cleared those out. What I'm looking at now here, T-Shroom, we got some bright liquidity up here just about at 90,000. And if that continues, if that snowball gets going, we could make a run all the way to 93,000 before we really run out of steam there. If we do start to make moves to the downside, it starts to pick up again towards 84,500. And again, we told you earlier, this target down here where there is still heavy liquidity as well. We got some interesting liquidations and some interesting support down. Again, between $81,000 and $83,000 are going to be the levels to watch there. That being said, when you zoom out, let's remind people about this more macro technical analysis of why we are so bullish on Bitcoin. Number one, this is Bitcoin season. What does Bitcoin season mean? It doesn't mean altcoins don't rally. Clearly, other altcoins are rallying right now. But it means that Bitcoin is kind of leading the way. The majority of money that is flowing into crypto is flowing into Bitcoin. After dipping a little bit, Bitcoin dominance, let's go back here, is now approaching those new highs again. We told you this the other day after this dipped. We said, don't count out the Bitcoin season just yet until we cross below this trending blue line of support. Bitcoin dominance is still looking to head to the upside. Sure enough, we bounced here the other day around 58.6, and right now we are currently working to make new highs in this market on Bitcoin dominance. What does that mean? It means that the market cap of Bitcoin is climbing faster than the rest of the crypto market combined, and it's picking up more dominance. Alt season is when the Bitcoin dominance chart starts to fall, when Bitcoin price starts to fall, but altcoins rally instead because people are taking profits from Bitcoin and they're moving it over into the altcoin sector. Which ones they're going to talk about? Well, we'll get in there in a second. There's 5 that I really like right now that I think people should be looking at. But right now, it's not alt season. It is still Bitcoin season, and that's what we're kind of watching go on. Well, from a macro perspective, what are some different price targets you need to keep your eye on? There's 2 reasons why 100,000 needs to be on your radar. Number one is that psychological level that we have been talking about for 5 or 6 years now in crypto. When will we hit 100,000? We were supposed to hit it back in 2021. That was a huge disappointment to everyone who was invested, but it looks like it's within grasp right now. In fact, we are only about, let's do the math to make sure I'm accurate here. We are only 11% away, 11.5% away from hitting $100,000. And it's going to be a major psychological level. I can just tell you right now, there are probably millions of people who have sell signals right there at 100K. I would be very surprised if we just blast through it and don't find any resistance whatsoever. But the second reason why you need to keep your eyes on $100,000 right now is because of the formation that is in play. There's a conservative formation and a bearish, conservative and aggressive formation. I want to make sure I say that correctly. The first one, we have been trading now, if you guys hadn't been watching, since March, we were trading in what was called a falling channel. You guys see these two red lines that are ascending? This one's resistance, this one is support. We had a couple of wicks drop below, but no daily candle dropped outside of this formation. Well, that formation is bullish. In fact, if you just take the opening of that formation, you move it over to the breakout spot, that gives us a breakout target right here of, oh, look at that, $86,000. We already smashed that one. So conservative number one, we did it. We got it. We're done. Let's keep going forward. When you have an explosive price movement leading into a formation like this is what we call a flag, a bull flag pattern. And what you do is you take the pattern of the flagpole, the vertical ascension of price action, you move it over to the most recent level of support. This, of course, being back on September 7th, that last dip before we started this bull trend. This gives us a price prediction of 103,181. Now, I always like to tell people, while that's a good place to think about, you always want to look for the area, right? Give it a zone up there. Where's resistance going to be? As I already said, that psychological barrier of 100,000 to me seems like a good target to say, let's correct this a little bit. Let's just talk about getting up towards 100,000. But we've seen this explosive of a move happen between the months of January and March. We probably can see it happen again very, very quickly here over the next couple of weeks. I told you guys I would not be surprised if we saw 100,000 by the end of the week or sometime next week. Keep your eyes on that. But guess what? There's an even more explosive target that you can be watching as well. If you were to go and look at the weekly chart, this, with the exception of this hiccup that we had in January, you also can make the argument for a more aggressive pattern here on Bitcoin, that we had a flagpole that extended all the way back here to September of 2023 into March. And this one, ladies and gentlemen, has a much more aggressive prediction. This would put the price of Bitcoin up above $150,000. And the target, the timeline for that potentially happen could be March or April of 2025. Do we think that's going to happen? Listen, at this point, I think it is extremely, extremely possible that happens. In fact, there's a scenario on the table if things really start going. Again, we're a couple of months away from Trump being inaugurated, and then in a 100-day process, in which case he makes sure that Bitcoin becomes a, what's the expression for it, T-Shirt? I don't want to misquote it. It's a reserve.
Strategic
reserve.
Bitcoin reserve. Just like there's a strategic oil and petroleum reserve. Yeah.
Yes. And Senator Loomis alluded to there's a chance that they might even increase the holding to get it up to holding over 1 million coins in the U.S. Treasury. That would be a bullish, very, very strong bullish catalyst. Of course, continual ETF buying is going to continue to go on. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it again. There's going to be people out here who disagree with this take, and that's okay. I love when people give their own opinions. I love when people disagree. If everyone agrees with each other, we never get stretched to find what actual truth is. We have to have healthy disagreement conversations. But I'm going to say my piece here, and I want to speak to people that are especially newer to the space. You are not bullish enough on crypto right now. And I want to speak even more so to people who are maybe around for about 3 to 4 years right now. You are not bullish enough on this space, and you are struggling with trauma. I've said this so many times on the channel, but trauma is a very real thing. PTSD, the concept that soldiers get when they go to war and they come home and the littlest noise sends their mind back to when they were on the battlefield. The same thing can happen with almost every other area of life, in this case, investing. And there's a lot of investors that are not very old. They've been here for, again, 3 to 4 years. They're around for 2021, and they have PTSD from dramatic disappointment. Everyone's saying price is going to go up here, and price only made it right here. They had everyone saying, oh, crypto is the future, but then we saw a bunch of institutions flooding it and causing some major problems, suppressing the price of almost every cryptocurrency. That's trauma. That was a very traumatic experience. But now we're taking that trauma out and we're saying, well, if 2021 was a disappointing bull market, 2024 and 2025 has to be disappointing as well. And ladies and gentlemen, that can't be further from the truth. And all I'm going to say here, there's so many arguments I could make about why this is the case, but let's just talk about the institutions for a second. As I just mentioned, what caused such a disappointing 2021 bull market? It wasn't that crypto stinks. It wasn't that people didn't love it. It clearly was growing in mass adoption across retail. It was the institutional FUD, the institutional suppression, not just printing article after article after article, discouraging newer retail investors from getting into it, but also actively shorting the price action so that it did not go very high. It was the bull market of institutional suppression. Guess what? 2025 is not the bull market of institutional suppression. It's the bull market of institutional adoption. All those same players that worked so heavily to suppress and discourage price action just 3.5 years ago are now actively going to be buying it. I think this bull market has the chance to be truly, truly special. Don't let your trauma, your PTSD from 4 years ago scare you away from major, major gains. With that said, we're going to always monitor it. While I'm extremely bullish right now, T-Shroom's extremely bullish right now. There's lots of you guys in chat that are kind of right along with me. You're saying, amen, Tim. You and I are still going to have to watch the markets daily. I'm not going to tune out. I'm not going to fold my hands and go into oblivion and not pay attention to all incoming news and what's coming on the charts. I'm going to take in all new information and adapt my predictions and my perceptions of the markets every single day. That's why we have this channel to help you guys do that. But that being said, don't tie your hands right now and limit yourself to these low levels that you're going to get out early and miss out on major, major gains. Make sure to treat the market on a day-to-day basis and say, I'm going to take what it gives me. And as long as it remains bullish, I'm going to remain bullish as well. If it gives me a reason to be bearish, I will change my mind. But right now, all signs are pointing towards major bullish rallies still coming over the next couple of months, next year. And again, small chance this bull market extends past the 4-year cycle and runs into 2026. I cannot wait to share all that and look at all of it with you guys over the next couple of months. T-Shroom, what are your thoughts?
You know, Tim, we've been talking about this theme of trauma, and I think it's so helpful for people to think about. I want to give you all a toolkit, a little bit of something to do about it. Or if you're feeling the trauma and you're listening to what Tim's saying, you're like, Tim, I can't overcome this trauma, right? Or I've overcome it. I've bought back into crypto, but it gets me every single day. I still feel terrible. I have high anxiety. My toolkit to you would be write it down. Write down the anxiety thoughts that you're feeling. What comes to mind when you're feeling that? Write it down and then talk about what you've written down with a loved one. Or don't take that step. Just write it down and kind of see what it is in your mind that's really taking hold. And then you'll be able to see that for what it is. And chances are from the experience that I have, you're going to have positive outcomes from doing that. I've seen that work. It's not gonna work for any trauma, right? But for this type of a trauma, it could be effective. So yeah, not mental health advice there, but it's a good step to take that could help you move into the right direction.
Absolutely. Well, T-Shirt, let's get into, I know a lot of people are in here. We have almost 1,000 people here on YouTube, almost another 200 people over on X. Make sure wherever you're watching right now, if you're enjoying the episode, smash the like button. If you're not enjoying the episode, let us know by smashing the dislike button. But I don't know if you knew this, the dislike button counts as engagement as well. Just let us know you're engaged, right? Tell us if you're happy. Tell us if you're not happy. Also, hit subscribe. If you love us, hit subscribe so you watch us every single day. If you hate us, hit subscribe so you can come in and get angry every single day and it'll fuel you into being a better investor and trader. Either way, engage with the channel. We love to have it. T-Shirt, let's get into the topic that a lot of people are probably coming in for. They see that title, that thumbnail. Top 5 coins that I'm looking to buy right now. Let's start off with some altcoin headlines, and then we're going to dive into the 5 that I really like. We're going to look at the fundamentals and the charts as to why they're so bullish.
Absolutely. Well, we've got a lot of people around the world watching. We're going to get into the crypto headlines, talk about those 5 coins. We got Ginny Chong watching from Malaysia. Crypto Geo said howdy from Texas. And we've got Crypto Ozzy said Australia, land of the Skippies. I don't know what a Skippy is. Let me know. What do you think a Skippy is? Oscar from El Paso. Got a lot of friends in El Paso. AB said from Russia with love. CZB said from Sweden. And then we got Captain Cardano said word up from Canada. Very, very cool. Well, speaking of Cardano, we've got a tweet here from none other than Charles Hoskinson bringing light to a big development over at Coinbase. Congratulations to Coinbase for getting this out. Indexes are great for people to gain diverse exposure to crypto. What indexes? This index. Let's take a look. Let's take a listen. Dramatic.
Oh, yeah. C50.
If that doesn't make the hair on the back of your neck stand up with how dramatic that is, then I don't know what will. But it did make Charles Hoskinson very excited because Cardano makes this list. Now, what is an index? For those of you who are not familiar with the stock market, an index is like the S&P 500, the Nasdaq, or the Dow Jones. It is a index of stocks that you can buy just one ticker of. So when you buy the SPY, you're buying a exposure to all the companies that are in the SPY, in the S&P 500. In the same way, you can do the same thing for the Nasdaq and the Dow Jones. And that's only the beginning. There's a lot more that comes to indexes from there, but that's the 101 of it, right? So let's take a look at some of the components. These are the top components by percentage of the Coin 50, which it looks like will be a ticker that you can either buy. I'm not exactly sure where that's going to be available, but that's the ticker is Coin 50. These are the top components, Tim. Bitcoin at 51.26% weight, Ethereum at 26.35%, Solana at just under 7%, Dogecoin just over 3%, XRP at 2.25%, Cardano at 1.46%, Shiba Inu at 1.12%, Bitcoin Cash at 0.60%, and Chainlink at 0.59. So it's not hard to see where they arrived at this. These are just the market caps, excluding stablecoins. So, and I don't think Binance was in there, but very, very interesting. This is kind of the catch-all basket in a sense of cryptos, and it's also going to be a way that institutions can actually allocate to crypto, because unfortunately crypto is just too chaotic. There's too much information coming from all different places. The institutions, they look at crypto and they're like, we'll just take Bitcoin, maybe Ethereum. But what Coinbase is doing here is very brilliant, because it's going to bring liquidity to on down the risk curve in crypto. Tim, what are your thoughts here?
It's very cool. I think there's a lot of people who will need things like that, who can't make the decisions for themselves. It's a lot easier just to get that basket and have someone else make all the splits for them and benefit from the bull market as a whole. Again, I told you guys, we're about to talk about some altcoins here that I'm really excited about. I said there's 5. There's really 6. I have to kind of throw in a bonus one, right? There's going to be 6. So you get a bonus altcoin I'm really excited about. But some people, it's really hard to make that decision. And the entire crypto market's about to go to the upside, T-Shirt. Everything's about to go to the upside. And so to get access and the benefit from all of those, you kind of round it off, like coin number 1, Bitcoin, you're talking about maybe a 3x from here, right? 2x, 3x from here is about what you should be expecting in your returns. Ethereum, probably looking at 4, 5x. Solana, same thing, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7x maybe. But then you start to bring in some of those other ones, those lower coins, where you could get the 15x, the 20x, the 30x. And so it helps make that account grow more so than just maybe investing in, say, Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think it's brilliant. I think a lot of people are going to actually love getting access to something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we do have our factoid of the day. We'll get to in just a moment. But we got to get into these coins, Tim. Let's go ahead and start with the first mystery coin here.
Let's do it. Again, I told you, I started off by saying 5, but there's really 6. I got to
really
go
6.
6. I broke my own rules. And that's a good understanding of this channel. We break our rules all the time. We create rules and then we break them because rules
not
are
all
made
the
for
time.
breaking.
We break rules when it's best to break them.
That's true. We only break rules when it's best. All right, let's talk about coin number 1 that I'm watching right now. I really like Kaspa. Let's talk about Kaspa from a more macro perspective. I'm going to go into it and zoom in. Kaspa, I do believe, still has a chance to be truly special. I mean, we're talking about a coin that is not listed on any major exchange, with the exception of maybe Uphold, and yet it's still a top coin. It's still one of the top movers if you look at the bull market as a whole so far. It also fell back here recently, had a big correction. We talked pretty heavily about this, that it had a nice 50% correction. We put a target as a major level of support. It almost kissed just perfectly. But then since then, we have had a massive boost in price over the last couple of days. And then we had a little bit of a pullback, hitting our target we put on the channel. We had 2 different targets to enter into a pullback. We put this last couple of days, 13.44 and 13 cents, 13.44 cents, 13 cents. We hit that 13.4 cents. Does look like we're getting a little bit of a bullish bid right here. But you can see the momentum is back here on Kaspa. Zooming back out to daily chart. After losing everything, after being negative, setting these lower highs and lower lows ever since the all-time highs back on August 1st, the momentum is back on Kaspa, and that's what we're kind of looking at right now. We're watching coins that in the last couple of days, even though it's not alt season, are showing some true bounce back. They were overextended, they were oversold, everyone was giving up on them. Guess what often has the greatest potential to rally is the coins that were forgotten about and everyone was overlooking. They're showing the excitement coming in right now. I'm not saying that no other coin is better than this. I'm saying Kaspa is very exciting, and it's coin number 1 that I was looking to buy, and I'm buying because of how overextended and oversold the price action really is. T-Shirt, any thoughts about Kaspa before I move on to number 2? I'm going to try to go through quickly because we got 6 of them, but I want to make sure you get in your takes, your thoughts, briefly.
For sure. No, Kaspa's great. Kaspa is one of the bigger positions in my portfolio. It was a top performing crypto of 2023. Doesn't mean it's going to be the top performing of this year. It looks like that's not going to be the case. But it is a very, very cool coin. Why? Because it's proof of work. That can be a positive. It can be a negative as well. Many cryptos have opted to be a proof of stake rather than a proof of work. For a variety of reasons, but Bitcoin is a proof of work blockchain. So Kaspa going that direction is favorable, and also it had a fair launch, and also it is not yet on tier 1 exchanges, right? So it has a big bullish catalyst there coming up. There's a lot more that I could say that's bullish about Kaspa, but ultimately, this is a pretty decent project here, and this is a pretty decent price for it as well, as Tim just pointed out.
Absolutely. Let's go into coin numero 2. Again, same thing here. I want to throw it back to something Caleb Franzen said yesterday. Caleb Franzen talked about you want to look at the investments of coins that are picking up hype. Again, a similarity with all these coins we're going to talk about, they have picked up some hype here, especially over the last couple of days. Coin number 2. Let's hear the hate. Let's hear T-Shirt. Do you have a boo button? Because people are going to boo me for this one.
Oh, God, please, no.
All right, that's close enough. Always love Michael Scott. It's going to be Cardano, guys. Again, some people actually love that. I say something to boo. Some people are going to boo me. Oh, some people are going to love it.
No.
Let's go ahead and go to the chart. Let's go to the chart here for Cardano. From a fundamental perspective, obviously Cardano has had some major headlines in the last couple of weeks. First of all, they partnered with Bitcoin and now have access to the Bitcoin Treasury for everything that they're going to be building. Some people are questioning if that's going to be substantial. I said it wasn't substantial in the second it happened, but long term is going to be very beneficial to developers building on Cardano. Number 2, there's rumors and rumblings, but there's weight that Charles Hoskinson might be heavily involved with crafting United States regulation when it comes to cryptocurrency. That's not going to hurt Cardano. It's going to bring more attention, more excitement. It's going big. But even more so, look at what Cardano has done since the election. It's rallied over 100%, boosted to levels that went even higher than we expected. We were in a falling wedge pattern. We had a very, very good pullback. Similar to Kaspa, Cardano had it actually went further back, 65% pullback. It was oversold, overextended. Those are the projects you want to look for. And now we're seeing the excitement when it's not even alt season yet, an 100% rally within a couple of days. That is there. It's proof that there's life in this ecosystem. Cardano is one to keep an eye on lower time frames here. We were talking about this. There were two levels that we watched on. The first one was coming back towards 55 cents. We've done that. If we do pull back any more, because today we're not necessarily making any big moves here, keep an eye on the smart trail and the take profit levels here around 53 to 52 cents. That would be a very, very good entry for Cardano here longer term, as again, it's picking up a lot of steam. I myself have some buy orders for Cardano here around 53 cents. It is one that I'm looking to skew up more. And again, I told you guys, bring on the booze. If you love Cardano, put a heart in chat. If you hate Cardano, put a what emoji t-shirt should hatred be putting in chat for Cardano?
I don't know. Maybe an exclamation mark? I don't ever ponder hatred,
no.
so
a hammer. Put a hammer. If you hate Cardano, put a hammer in chat. If you love it, put a heart. Here's what I'll say before we keep going, because technically every pick on this list is going to have some people saying it's great, some people saying it's bad. Guys, this is the part of the bull market that certain coins will outperform others. That's going to happen. But unless the project is actually genuinely dead and has some sort of really bad news, everything's about to pump. So to hate any one coin and to try to FUD it and say that it's dead and over, I just want to be very honest with you guys. It's very silly. And to put into perspective the wise words of a man that was on our show yesterday, if you are bearish during a bull market, you are failing at investing. We're looking at coins right now that people hate despite the fact that they're rallying, that they're boosting. And so to hate on them and to be upset about them, you're not hurting anybody but yourself. Choose the ones you want. I'm not saying invest in all these coins. I'm saying those who do hate and go after coins, it's kind of silly. And that actually is part of the reason why these coins are going to be such great opportunities, because other people are flooding them. That means there's less competition to buy them cheap. When they're higher, when they're hitting new all-time highs, that's when people will get a little more quiet. That was coin number 2, Cardano. We're going to move to coin number 3. I don't think will be disputed as much. This will probably be the most supported coin on this list, I would imagine. Sure. And it's going to be Solana. Now, this is more of our safer pick here. Solana is. It's the one that I think is going to pop off very much so. It's had a nice rally. It's not necessarily as up as far as like some of these others. It's also because it has such a large market cap already. It's only up about 43% from the election, whereas a lot of these other coins are pushing towards or over 100% rallies. But Solana has broken out of a major level very similar to how Bitcoin has. Remember we were talking about Bitcoin TA earlier, and we looked at the falling wedge pattern. Well, it's not as clearly a flagpole for Solana unless you're going to get aggressive, but it's still conservatively, if you take a look at the opening of this formation, it still shows that Solana should be pushing up here above $300. And honestly, it could do it before the end of the year. Solana is one that I'm very, very bullish on long term. It is the popular choice, I would say right now, T-Shroom, for where the everyday person wants to build smart contracts in crypto. It's going to have some major, major gains over this bull market. But even right now, I'm using this opportunity to gather up some more because very big breakout still on the way. And again, if we're going to get aggressive here, if we're going to look at a potential massive bull flag, where could this send Solana's price action? It could send it all the way up here towards $1,400. If you guys have known our price predictions, we're predicting maybe a year from now looking at $1,100, but an extended cycle getting up closer towards 2,000 is still on the table. This formation right here says 1,400 could be something interesting to keep an eye on for a longer term breakout. That price action could come maybe sometime. That's February is way too soon. I'm gonna say that's gonna be a target probably towards the end of 2025, early 2026. But still something to keep an eye on with explosive Solana. T-Shroom, again, I would imagine that's not gonna be disputed too much. It's really hard to hate on Solana. Why? Because it's been so bullish so long, although some people are going to find a way to do it. What are your thoughts about Solana?
Yeah, this is the institutional cycle. We've seen institutions buy Solana. Solana has also played their cards really, really well, and they're showing high competency in being able to play along with the crypto news cycle. We've illustrated this in previous episodes. I'm not going to say it again, but they have demonstrated that they understand news in crypto. And if you have ever been investing and trading, news, information is currency. It's extremely, extremely important. The other thing I'd say about them is that they're solid, right? It's a solid chain. Has it had downtime? Yes, but that doesn't seem to deter investors from buying more. And at the time when the most recent significant downtime that Solana had, nobody sold, right? The price went up. What does that tell me? That tells me that there is investment into Solana by people who are comfortable with downtime. They're okay with it because, and we talked about this much more last year, but because they understand what Mark Zuckerberg said years ago, move fast and break things, still applies in crypto. At least that's their belief. Could they be wrong?
Yeah.
Probably not in this bull market, but they could be wrong in the long term. But that's just not how market works. I think that Solana continues to get a bid. It continues to show strength. I don't think it flips Ethereum this bull market, and if it has a chance that's going to have to happen in the future. So we shall see. But a strong pick for sure.
We're going to speed up here. We're going to go a little more speed round. I'm not going to go as in depth on the TA, but when we're talking about Solana, you also got to talk about another coin that's being mentioned in its same breath a lot. Some people calling it the Solana killer. I don't think so, but I think that it can be special like Solana.
Bitcoin Cash? Just kidding.
Yeah, no, it's Sui. Sui, everybody, is my next pick. Our pick number 4. I saw a lot of people predicting it. Matt C's putting in the chat. Adam Bates putting in the chat. Sui, it's hard to go against Sui here, everybody. Now, it's not necessarily, I told you other coins are up a lot more. It's going to be on the lower end as well. Only up about 50%, around about 50% since the election. But it's also because look at how explosive it was back here between September and then October. Had a little cool off as we said it would, almost exactly the level of cool off we predicted, about 30%. And now, since that time, not since election, now it is up roughly 100% since that pullback. This is a coin you did not want to miss on the momentum. I still don't think it's too late to get invested in Sui, but it's definitely too late to maybe catch that. I think this is going to be a coin that early adopters easily are making 70Xs on. At this point now, I haven't done my official crunching of numbers for a price prediction. I still think there's a 10 to 20X left in it, but I'm going to save that for a video where I do an official price prediction on Sui. It still, though, is one that I think people are going to try to fade. They're going to try to go against, but the momentum is clearly there. It's picking up more and more love, and we haven't even hit, again, the altcoin season. Sui's my number 4 pick. T-Shroom, 15 seconds. Good, bad. Sui, you like it?
Sui's good. I worry that maybe it's having a moment in the sun that won't last forever, but I think it's shown that it is strong. It does have that unique feature that you can it's fast, right? It does have some unique features that have gotten some investment as well. So that's my speed round.
Yeah. We'll have to see. Again, I almost compare it to potentially doing it's not the same because it's a meme coin, but the way Doge had a special 21 rally and Sheeb went behind it, could Sui be the Sheeb to Solana the same way Sheeb was to Dogecoin in 2021 is an interesting way to think about it. Let's move on to coin number 5, and I'll throw in my bonus one. Coin number 5. Now this one, boys, it's a glorious day. A lot of people have been waiting for this one. I just mentioned it. It's Dogecoin. Oh, I didn't know you needed a drum roll.
It's okay.
That's anticlimactic.
It's okay. We're having fun.
I ruined your moment. All right. Dogecoin here, ladies and gentlemen. If you were to go back to when we bottomed out pretty much back in September, Doge has rallied almost 400% since that time. If you were to only go here until the last couple of days back just before the election, it's still up 200%. Why would you argue with Doge? Now, I'm not saying there won't be some form of a pullback. I'm not going to go into that. Maybe we'll save that one for tomorrow. Maybe I'll answer that in like a VIP trading group scenario. But Dogecoin, I think at this point, it's safe to say, again, nothing's safe, but it's safe to say, if you're wondering, can Dogecoin reach $1? I think you're asking too little of a question. Doge might be talking about multiple dollars in this bull market. It is showing no strength, or no lack of strength. And here's another thought process that someone was kind of pushing me on the other day, because sometimes I sleep a little on Doge, right? I was sleeping on Doge a little bit. Still thought it would reach $1, but maybe that would be about it. And someone made a very good point. They said there are so many people who only come around in the bull market, and when they come back, they're going to start looking at the coins they invested in last cycle, and they don't know enough to ask any different questions. And what was one of the most popular coins in the last cycle in 2021? It was Dogecoin. Just wait till the retail flood comes back in. Do not be surprised to see one of the top Google searches have something to do with what is the price of Doge? What is the price of Doge? It's the number one meme coin for a reason, and I think that that's going to continue to pile on. Don't fade Doge. I'm excited about Doge right now, and I'm looking for a pullback to get in more. That is a very explosive chart. Again, not even altcoin season. Look out for a big explosive move there. T-Shroom, thoughts on Doge? You own Doge?
Doge is one of the only two meme coins that I hold and have held through this bull market so far. The other one is Ordi. I like Doge a lot. Doge is a great coin.
Yeah. All right, last coin. Bonus coin number 6. Then we have our factoid of the day and our special announcement. In fact, I feel like we should do the special announcement, T-Shroom, and then the factoid of the day. What do you think?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. We're on the same page. We're probably running long here today. We're probably going past 4 o'clock. We've done that a couple times now. Bonus coin number 6. If you thought that coin number 2, Cardano, got a lot of hatred, a lot of boos, coin number 6 might outdo it. Can you play our Michael Scott clip again?
Oh, God, please, no! No!
Yeah. All right.
No!
Listen.
No!
You're going to hate it. It's XRP, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot live under a rock and just decide I'm going to hate a project no matter what and ignore what is happening on the charts. Remember we said earlier, we said that the best ones to look at on this list are ones that have been suppressed, and everyone has been saying that project is dead. There's no better, I mean, Cardano's in that camp as well, but there's no better project to say fits the bill of everyone's been saying it's dead and it's over suppressed. I am not predicting XRP to $30. I'm not predicting XRP to $420. I feel like I have a very realistic expectation for where XRP is going, but that's still bullish. And what we're watching right now, the reason I'm bullish, again, just like everything else, look at what it has done in the last couple of days since we found out pretty much who's going to win the presidency. It is up 50% here in those last couple of days. So again, not as maybe as good as Cardano and others, but even more so, we have sustained a breakout above a major level of resistance. We have opened, and I guess as long as we don't close today below 59 cents, we have opened, it looks like going to close a daily candle above this red line for the first time ever since the resistance started back in April of 2021. This symmetrical triangle pattern has been in play, and it looks like right now the breakout is here. Guess what this breakout could mean? Again, the hatred. You guys are going to hate this, but I'm just here to report facts. I'm not here to report feelings. This breakout could send the price up towards $6, not far off of the prediction I gave for potential end of 2026, where XRP could be. Listen, you might not like it. That doesn't mean there aren't people out there. There's still a thing called the XRP army. There's still a thing where people will come back in the bull market and they'll look at what is moving and what has momentum. And oh, yeah, by the way, do I think that other coins like Chainlink and other real world assets could steal some of the thunder of XRP? Absolutely, I think that. But it's still an institutional coin. And this is still an institutional bull market. And some banks and some companies will choose to go the route of Ripple and XRP. I'm not saying fall in love with it. I'm not saying go mortgage your house. I'm not saying sell every other crypto you have and invest in XRP. I'm saying don't fade it. Don't hate on it. Let it do its thing. If you don't like it, don't invest in it. But don't go around the internet and look like a fool saying that XRP is dead and it's not going to do anything, because clearly it's coming back to life right now. We are setting higher highs for the first time in over 3 years, pushing closer towards 4. I say that there's going to be a lot of people who obviously hate it. That's the one thing we love about crypto. Everyone gets an opinion. Everyone wants to love some things and hate the others.
That's
you
right.
never can get them all right, T-Shroom. You never can. But shout out to Louis or Lewis, I don't know, Trevino. Can you look at ICP, please, and where do you think it tops out this bull run? Lewis or Louis. We did ICPTA actually with our VIP trading group. I can look at more in Q&A. We could possibly even try to look at that tomorrow. We are already going to be running short on time for today, but thank you for that super chat. I'm going to make a note. We'll look at ICP tomorrow, and it'll come back, and we'll make sure that's one of the coins we take a look at. It is time for a big announcement, though. If you guys loved our coin list, or if you hated it, again, smash the like. I'll tell you this. If you were thoroughly entertained during our top 5/6 coins that Tim is buying right now, smash the like button just for kicks and giggles. But if you don't smash it for that, you got to smash the like for this. In chat right now, if you have been watching this channel since the founding of it, if you've watched since the beginning, or if you remember T-Shroom and I from the coffee and crypto days, I'm talking to the OGs here, put a 1 in chat. If you were here in the OG days, if you remember coffee and crypto, put a 1 in chat. This surprise is for you. There's probably a lot of you guys who we're going to say the surprise and you're going to be like, what? What are they announcing right here? Why is this so special? Trust us. Just stick around. You will learn to love it in due time. I want to set the stage, though. This is something that I wanted to happen a very long time ago, T-Shroom. In fact, when we first started the channel, this is something I asked for, and I was told no. And you know what? I'm a big boy. I wiped my tears away like a man, and I said, okay, we'll move forward. All right? Several times I've tried to get this to happen, and I've been shot down. And once again, I was a big boy. I pulled up my pants. I wiped my tears. Don't know why I said I pulled up my pants. And I moved on. It's here now, everybody. An opportunity, a door opened last week, and Tim and T-Shroom jumped through that door like we were on fire. And I am so happy to announce that we have made a brand new hire to the Broz that you're going to be seeing a whole lot more. His name is Smainold. He is now officially a part of the Broz community in a full-time capacity. Smay! How are you doing, my friend?
He's muted. Excellent debut.
And you're still muted. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What a great way. Oh, he's gone. All right. That's it. He's fired. All right. It's over.
And that's it. He's out of here.
We're still working on some internet connection. There we go. There's the jingle. He's back.
What up?
Hi. You hear me?
There he is.
Okay. Everybody. I was gonna sing a song. Save your tears for another day.
Oh,
Because-
there we go.
I love it. That was good.
There we go. Oh,
there it
Smay.
I'm
Listen,
here. I've
you
made
are
my
here.
return
Yeah.
to the Broz.
To the
Finally.
Broz. You know, one
You
of the
gotta play
funniest
hard to
things.
get.
One of the funniest things. There's in the future shows we'll have to tell more stories. Fun fact though. So what happened was last week Smay found out that the company he was working for was just going out, right? So he was going to be looking for another job. I have, again, at the founding of this company, we asked Smay to be a part of it. And I understand why Smay said no. We weren't going to make any money for a long time. Smay needed to make money. He needed to. Smay had this crazy idea he needed to pay his bills, right? So he said no. He said, no, I can't be a part of the founding. Several times since then, I've tried to get him involved. And of course, because he had a nice job, he always said no. The day that he got told his company was going under, I had a phone call with him. I was going to ask him a question about cameras. And I started the whole conversation off with, don't worry, Smay. I'm not here to offer you a job. The one time that he actually needed it, I said no. Found out later that night on an Instagram post that he had been let go. So T-Shroom and I talked, and we quickly reached out and made an offer. And here we are, Smay. You are now a bro. You're part of the official Broz community. How are you feeling about that?
I'm great. When do I get my hat?
Yeah,
I gotta get my hat.
Work on that.
Part of the uniform. I saw somebody in the chat say that I'm a perfect mixture of you two. I'm like your child.
Interesting.
That's strange. That's a strange way of putting it. Yeah.
But I mean, I think if you think about it, I think there's something to it. There's something to it. But I am glad.
Yeah.
I don't know where I came from, but I'm happy to be here. This is great, guys. So now you might be wondering, are you just here because Bitcoin's doing well again? And the answer is perhaps. So I mean, keep that in mind. You know, that this turtles come back when the sun is shining.
He's a fair weather friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perhaps. Yeah.
You know, I realized, mate, we didn't really we just hired you. We didn't even interview you. So this is the second time.
This is the
interview. This is the second time that I've hired you where your interview was very incomplete. And because the last time I hired you, you were supposed to be a crypto genius, and it turns out you knew nothing about it.
Yeah, no. And you know what? I know just as much now as I did then. This is great. This is great.
That's
Oh,
hilarious.
it's gonna be good. For anyone who's
Yeah.
wondering, we're about to do our factoid of the day, and we're going to hear a lot from Smay in the next couple of days. He is going to be taking over as our head of creation, pretty much. We don't have an exact title, but lead of creation. He has an expertise in production, in film, in thumbnails, in content creation on social media. He's going to help with our memes and different things. But again, he also gets to be Smay, and Smay is. We're also going to find out this new level of Smay, because the old Smay. There was kind of this perception that Smay was just, the funny guy in the background, the clown. He didn't have any deep thoughts or anything. No, Smay's a deep fellow. And so we're going to see the funny side of Smay. We're going to see the serious side of Smay. I know you don't think you know a lot about crypto, Smay, but you're a smart guy and you pick up things very quickly and you always have great insight. So I'm excited to have you on from an entertaining standpoint. Even though I'm on the show, you entertain me. So that's a plus for me. But I also can't wait to get your insights on this as well. Before we go, T-Shroom is not fired, Ken Monster. Let's not start any rumors. T-Shroom is our research guy. T-Shroom is going to free T-Shroom up to not have to wear 17 hats. So T-Shroom can focus on content creation with me. But what I was going to say, someone asked about Chainlink earlier. Why? I don't hate Chainlink, guys. I didn't give up on Chainlink. I still love Chainlink. I have a lot of Chainlink. It just isn't the coin. It wasn't in my top 6. Okay. So anyone who thinks that Tim hates Chainlink, I love Chainlink. Smay, do you love Chainlink?
You know what? I love Chainlink.
Looking for a quick answer, Smay.
You just
yeah.
say
Do I?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. There you go. Smay loves Chainlink. Real quick super chats. Matt C said, "Bring back between two coins." That's a conversation for another day.
I don't know about that
Pew
one.
Pew Cruz says, "So happy to see you three together again." Absolutely. It is great. And of course, that's the other thing. He's not here on this call, but Crux is still around too. We're building. The bros are building. We are a dynamic team that's growing more and more every single day, and I'm excited about it. Smay, you're going to be able to participate today in your first ever Factoid of the Day. I think in the future, we're delegating you to managing the Factoid elf to make sure these are good. But today you get to be on the guessing side with me.
Okay.
T-Shroom.
Wonderful.
What's our Factoid of the Day today?
Absolutely, Tim. Well, we got to get into our Factoid of the Day. And that is, and while we're doing the Factoid, we did have a super chat for IOTX coin. So maybe we'll fulfill that on the other side of the super chat. But today, Factoid of the Day. Which of the following is a key feature that distinguishes quantum computers from classical computers? Oh, we gotta have Smay here. Oh, Smay, be seen.
I'm gone.
There he is.
Hey.
Is it quantum entanglement, faster clock speeds, use of solid state transistors, or use of binary plus algorithms?
What?
My two computer expert friends.
Which of the following is key feature that distinguishes quantum computers from classical computers? Well, from what I understand about quantum mechanics, I gotta say, it's gotta be the thing that has quantum in its name. Quantum entanglement.
That's how they get you, though. Listen, Smay, you got to go back to your SAT days. I ruled that one out.
I lied. It's D. Thank you.
Uh-oh. You changing your guess to D? All right. What about you, Tim?
That's where I was going as well. I was going with D. But I'm going to split the vote here. We're going to get this right, one of us. I'm going to go with C, the use of solid-state transistors.
Transistors, yep.
Transistors or transistors. I don't know how it's pronounced. I just went with
because there's an S. Transistors.
That does not bode well for how this is going to go.
Transistors. I don't know. Whatever it is.
All right. Let's see if you all who got the right answer.
I want Smay to be right so bad.
Oh God!
No
Please,
freaking
no!
way.
No! No!
No!
Oh man, we scared off Tim. We scared him off.
I had it. This sucks.
How could you do this to a bro, Tim?
I fell under the peer pressure. Tim led me astray on that one. He said, "Are you sure it's gonna? That seems too much of a layup." And I'm like, "All right." You're right. You're the
It's never been that easy. It's never been that easy. There's always a trick. And so today's the trick was that there was no trick.
Let's just say, Smay, the Factoid Elf has thoroughly gotten into Tim's head, and
He does.
has been nesting there for a while.
This is brutal. This is already brutal. I already hate the Factoid elf. I'm gonna make him submit to me now. The Factoid elf.
Very cool. All right.
Yeah. Well, what we're gonna do here? That's disappointing right there. I thought we were gonna get that one right. We're gonna go ahead and transition T-Shroom out. We're gonna close out the show. The super chat about IOXT. Go. So here's what I'm gonna tell him. Go into our Discord and tell everybody go into our Discord. It's absolutely free. First of all, there are paid memberships levels as well, but you absolutely can get in and be a part of our community for free. Engage with one of the best communities in crypto right now. And if you tag Crux of Crypto in that, you will get access to a guy who knows a whole lot more on that issue than me, and he'll be able to give you a good answer. Speaking of, though, as I'm telling you guys to sign up for Discord, we'll close out with this story here. Smay, you signed up for Discord the other day. And let's briefly tell people your story of signing up for Discord, because people need to hear this. What happened when you signed up with our Discord the other day?
So, Tim, thanks for asking. So I decided to sign up for the Investing Bros Discord, which is a place of wonderful community and trading conversations that will blow your mind. I'll tell you what, if you're not in the Discord right now, fellas, you should definitely be in the Discord because, I mean, man, you wouldn't want to miss it. And so anyways, I joined the Discord because I am now working here. I got hired here. So I joined the Discord and I say hello, and everyone ignored me, but that's fine. That's fine. But I meet this really nice fella named Crux, very nice guy. And he sends me a DM. I'm like, this is so nice. He's welcoming me. He says, hey, welcome to my Discord channel, and I was like, oh, hi, and he was like, well, what are you interested in? What are you hoping to get out of it? And I say, well, I work here. And he goes, that's great. So do you like crypto, stocks, trading? And I say, I work here. And he goes, that's great. And then after a few more chats, I realized that I was like, dang, this Crux guy, not very deep fella, not much going on. And then I realized his actual name says will not DM, and I was talking to a bot. So that was
and there's a moral to that story.
The moral to that story is he will not DM. Nobody will DM, and even the SME can be got by a bot because they're pretty good. Yeah. I mean, not good enough for me to not think. I mean, it was a bad first impression for Crux. I hadn't met him yet, so at first I was like, Crux, man, dude, are you even hearing me? Like, what's going on? Yeah. And no, it was a bot. Yep. So
there's lots of scammers. Lots of scammers.
And I gave him my 401k. I emptied it out. So, this is great.
Goodness gracious. That's what everyone needs to walk away. So join our Discord, but be aware, you will get reached out to by someone claiming to be myself, T-Shroom, Crux. Here very soon, the bots are very intuitive. There's going to pop up some fake smays in there as well.
I DM, just so you know. Everyone else doesn't DM, but I'll DM
you. Nobody from the bros will DM you. If you join Discord, please do not fall for any of our bots.
I'm going to DM you pictures of cats.
Okay. This is
that's going to be how the bot. That's going to be how the bot gets them now. It's going to jump in with a picture of a cat and then get them.
Yeah.
So, anyways, no, that was a lie.
It's easy to stay safe in Discord and on X and on Instagram and in the world of social media. It's easy to stay safe. Just don't reply to DMs that you that you are not sure is the actual person DMing you. Chances are, if somebody with a big following is reaching out to you, you have to ask, why are they reaching out to me? What's special about me? The answer is nothing. It's a fake person. It's not real. It's a scam. Do not expect anybody to DM you ever, unless they have told you they're about to DM you in a place that you can trust them. So it's easy to stay safe in crypto. Just and in social media, just do not reply to people who are DMing you unsolicited.
Yes, T-Shroom just plowed through people's feelings right there. Listen, you are important. I want you guys to know as we close out the day,
true.
Every single one of you are important. You just aren't going to have a lot of people DMing you on Discord. That's a big reason we don't DM anyone. So no matter whether you join our memberships or you just join the free Discord, always be aware, even on X and other places, you're going to see fake accounts. This is the internet, people. If you have not been around long enough to understand it, there are scammers, and they scam, and they scam, and they scam. Do not fall for it. Be smarter. Protect your money. Love every one of you. Closing thoughts of the day with Tim, though. This is something we do every single day. Maybe some days you'll give a closing thought.
Okay,
I always do have some great thoughts.
Maybe.
Well. Closing thoughts here.
First you got to have one.
You don't want my closing thoughts.
I want to go back to stuff I talked about earlier. Listen, a lot of people, sometimes a lot of us in here, we kid. It's a thing to go and say, I hate this project, I hate this project. But I really want to caution anybody. If you're wasting your time simply trying to FUD another project, you're wasting valuable time you could be using to build up your own portfolio. Don't be the type of person who just lives to ruin someone else's day and discourage other people. Be the type of person that builds up, that educates, that grows your own self. If you're right that some of the coins that we pick are wrong, good for you. If you're right that they end up doing badly, good for you. But use your intelligence, your time, your value